Hey everyone, we're back. Welcome to episode 17 of the Bankroll Challenge. If this is your first time watching, this is my PokerStars challenge to see if I can deposit just $125 and turn it into a serious bankroll, all while working full time and supporting a household and documenting the whole journey for you guys. And yeah, the title is We're Back, because we've been gone a while, over a month, but I've still been recording every session. So today's gonna be a longer video. We're going over every hand where we're 50 big blinds or deeper, and I'll give you bankroll updates along the way. Right now, the bankroll sits at $164.13. So let's get into the hands. This is NL30, 15 cent, 30 cent blinds. Start. Okay, our first interesting hand back, and it doesn't go well. I'm on the big blind with Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Hearts. The hijack limps, cutoff isolates to 4 blinds, and I 3-bet to 14 big blinds. Hijack folds, but the cutoff calls. The flop comes Jack of Diamonds, 4 spades, 2 of diamonds. I c-bet half pot, but now villain raises to 27.9 big blinds. I only have about 50 blinds left, so I decided to just shove. Just praying he either has diamond draw or something like ace jack. He snap calls, and unfortunately he has pocket jacks. He holds and we lose a big one right away. Now I wake up with pocket aces in the small blind. The low jack limps all in, the button calls, and I raise it up to 7.27 blinds, and the button calls. The flop comes 5 of clubs, 5 of hearts, 5 of spades, which is great. This guy on the button's been pretty aggressive, so I check, and he bets out full pot, and I call. Turn is a 10 of diamonds. I check again, villain goes all in, and I snap call. He had pocket sixes, I'm not sure what he was doing, but we hold and win. Then I play this hand terrible. I'm in the hijack with 7, 6 of clubs, and open the 2.5 big blinds. The big blind 3-bets, but to just 7 big blinds. I probably should just fold, but I love these hands, so I call. The flop comes 6 of diamonds, 5 of hearts, 5 of spades, and villain c-bets half pot. I hit a pair, so I call. Turn is the 8 of hearts. Villain bets again, but a little bigger, 17 blinds. And I can't tell you why I did this, but I min-raise it. I'm assuming I did it as a bluff, since I'm open-ended, but I hate the play. The villain calls. River is a 3 of diamonds. Villain checks. The only good thing about the min-raise is he checks, so I get to check back pretty cheap with my showdown value, which I do, and he has pocket kings, which makes complete sense with how he was betting. Wish we just folded pre-flop. Now I'm in the hijack with ace of clubs, king of hearts, and open the 2.5 big blinds. The button calls, and now the big blind 3-bets to 10 big blinds. I have a premium, so I 4-bet to 27.5 blinds. The button folds, and the big blind calls. The flop comes 2 of clubs, 10 of clubs, 6 of diamonds. The villain checks, and I bet 30% pot, and villain calls. Turn is a 7 of hearts. Villain checks again. Now I'm just trying to get the showdown, hoping he has something like ace queen, and I check back. River is a queen of hearts. It's the worst river, because now ace queen does get there, and now villain jams all in. It's 56 blinds for me to call, but I just lay it down, and we lose a big one. So I'm already annoyed about that last hand, and then this hand happens. I'm in the small blind with ace king of clubs. Cutoff opens to 3 big blinds, and I 3-bet to 12 big blinds. Cutoff calls. Flop comes 2 of diamonds, 7 of diamonds, ace of spades. I'm happy I finally hit top pair with ace king, so I c-bet half pot, and villain calls. Turn is a 6 of spades. I probably should have went bigger here, but I bet half pot again. Villain thinks for a minute, but he calls. River is the 10 of diamonds. It's the worst river. The obvious flush comes in, so I check. Villain goes all in. It will be 65.1 big blinds for me to call. I think about this one for a while. It's less than pot for me to call, but really, what are his bluffs? But I did check, so maybe he sees weakness. So I break my rule here of having to see the person bluff before, and I call. And of course, he has ace 3 of diamonds. We lose a huge one, and this one hurts. I think it was my downswing the last month that made me make this call, but it was a bad decision. So after that hand, I feel like I can never catch a break, and that I'm due for some good luck finally. So I jump on 25 cent, 50 cent, NL50 for the first time ever, trying to win some money back because I'm basically right now almost down the even of this whole series. So I jump on the table in the first orbit. I'm in the small blind with jack of clubs, ace of spades. Low jack limps, cutoff raises, but just to 3 big blinds. Button calls. I don't think anyone is strong, so I 3-bet big to 18 big blinds. Just trying to take the dead money, plus I think I'm ahead. The limper of all people cold calls, and the cutoff and button fold. The flop comes 7 of hearts, jack of spades, 6 of spades. For some reason here, I just decided to rip it. He only had 51 blinds left, a little over pot, and I didn't want to get outdrawn again. He folds, and we win our first ever big pot on NL50. After that, the table breaks, and I go back to NL30. I'm on the button with ace king of spades. The hijack limps, and I bump it up to 5 big blinds. And the big blind calls, and the hijack calls. Flop comes king of clubs, 3 of diamonds, 10 of clubs. Both villains check, and I see bet half pot. The big blind calls, and then hijack goes all in. But he's short stacked. It's only 21.4 blinds for me to call. So I call, and the big blind folds. Villain had pocket sixes. No idea what he was doing, but we hold, and we win a nice one. Then I get pocket aces on the small blind. The low jack opens to 3 big blinds, and I 3-bet to 13 blinds, and the villain calls. Flop is 3 of clubs, king of spades, 6 of clubs. I see bet for half pot, and then villain jams all in for 41.9 big blinds. It's only 29 for me to call, so I snap call, and he has king, queen of hearts. So this feels great until the turn comes. The queen of clubs. River is the 2 of clubs, and we lose again. After that, our bankroll sits around $110, under the $125 that we started with. So I say, you know what? I'm going back to NL50 to try to win it back. I have 2 buy-ins. It's now or never. Our first orbit, I'm in the cutoff 5-handed with jack of clubs, jack of spades, and open the 2.5 big blinds. The button 3 bets, but just the 7 big blinds. And the big blind cold calls. I'm not playing any different than I would on the lower stakes. So I 4-bet to 21.5 blinds. The button folds, which makes me feel good because he's the one that could have aces, kings, queens. But the big blind calls. So we have a huge one and a 4-bet pot. But the flop comes great. Ace 4 jack, all hearts. The villain checks. Normally I think you're supposed to go around 30%, but since it's monotone, I bet half pot. But now villain raises to 65 big blinds. I'm thinking no way PokerStars would do this to me and give him a flush. But obviously I'm not going anywhere. I call. Turn is a 6 of clubs. I didn't even realize the villain had chips left. He goes all in for 13 blinds. And I call. The villain shows ace of spades, jack of diamonds. So he doesn't even have a heart. He's dead to an ace. The river comes, the 5 of hearts. I win this 201.5 blind pot, the biggest pot of the series so far, for $100.75, which puts us basically back to even from the start of the video. Our bankroll sits at $163.98. So we're still alive. So it feels like we have new life, but we're staying on NL50. This is a new table. I'm on the button with pocket kings. Hijack limps, and I raise it up to 5 big blinds. The big blind, who's only 26 blinds deep, 3-bets to 15 big blinds. The hijack folds. I obviously go all in. He has pocket 7s. We hold and win another one. Now I wake up with pocket queens on the button. Low jack opens to 2.2 big blinds, and I 3-bet to 7.4 big blinds. And the low jack calls. Flop is great. Queen of diamonds, king of hearts, 2 of diamonds. I hit middle set. Villain checks, and I bet out half pot, and villain calls. Turn is the ace of hearts. Villain checks again. I'm trying to get the money in, so I bet 70% pot. Villain calls again. River is the 3 of spades. Villain checks a 3rd time. The only thing that beats me is jack 10, and I'm not really worried about that. So I jam all in. It's 70 blinds for him to call. He tanks for a while, but he calls. It's a cooler for him. He had ace king. I will say though, he should have 4-bet because maybe somehow it doesn't go all in. Because then I'm a little bit worried about aces and kings. I don't know, it might still go in anyway. But this is a new record pot, 206 big blinds, and as you'll see on the screen, $103. Jump to a new table, and I'm on the small blind with pocket 10s. It folds to me, and I open the 3 big blinds. Now the big blind 3-bets, but just to 9 big blinds. For some reason, this just felt like a monster. It's like he didn't want to raise me too big where I fold. And I haven't seen this guy 3-bet at all, so I flat. Flop comes 3 of hearts, 4 spades, 5 of clubs. I check and flow, and now villain bets full pot. This is annoying because I feel like he has it, but I have a hand that I have to call with. It's just a terrible bet because he doesn't know I had this hand. It gets me to fold anything else, but I call. Turn is the king of hearts. Villain goes all in, and I snap fold. If he did have it, he lost a lot of value. So we lose a little bit of profit from that monster pot, and our bankroll sits at $190. We've been on fire at NL50. Next hand, I'm on the small blind with ace of spades, jack of diamonds. The hijack opens to 2.3 big blinds. The button calls, and I 3-bet to 11.6 big blinds. Surprisingly, both players call. Flop comes queen of hearts, queen of spades, 3 of clubs. If it was heads up, I would c-bet, but 3 players, I just decide to check, especially out of position, and it checks around. Turn is a 3 of hearts, which is actually great. I may have the best hand now, but I don't have to bet big. If they don't have a queen or 3, they're not going to call. So I bet 30% pot, and both villains fold. We win a nice little one. Now I'm in the hijack with ace king of spades and open the 2.5 big blinds. The button calls, but now the big blind 3-bets at 15 big blinds. For some reason, I don't know, I just thought it was strong. He went a little bigger than normal. I still think I should have 4-bet, but I decided to just cold call. Luckily, the button folds. Flop comes king of hearts, 8 of diamonds, queen of clubs. And now the villain checks. I hit top pair, but something's fishy about the pre-flop aggressor checking. So I decided to check back. Turn is a 9 of diamonds. And now villain bets small, 30% pot. For that price, I call. River is the 10 of hearts. Now any jack beats me, unfortunately. Villain thinks forever, and then he checks again. At this point, I'm just happy to get the showdown. I check back, and Villain has a set of 8s. I thought he was strong, but that really surprised me. In a 3-bet pot, I flopped top pair versus a set, and only lost 10 big blinds. He should have stacked me. But I also may have won this pot if I just 4-bet. But who knows, maybe he calls. Now I'm on the low jack with pocket 10s. And I butcher this hand. I open the 2.5 big blinds, and just the big blind calls. Flop is 4 of hearts, 9 of diamonds, jack of spades. Villain checks, and I c-bet 2 big blinds. Now villain check raises to 11 big blinds. That's almost 6x. But for some reason, I just don't believe him and I call. Turn is the king of hearts. Now villain bets half pot. I don't know what I'm thinking here. I just don't believe him and I call again. But the river comes a miracle, the queen of clubs. So I hit a straight. Villain bets 24 big blinds. I snap call. Villain wasn't happy. He flopped 2 pair. Not sure why he bet with that river. As you see in the chat, he says, way to call down with 3rd pair. And he's right. But honestly, I think I deserve this. I went back and rewatched all my hands. There's only 2 hands where I'm calling down way behind and I just luck out. There's about 20 hands where the opposite happens, where I'm ahead and villain sucks out. But yeah, still a terrible decision by me to call down. But that hand puts our balance at $200.99. We're back over the $200 threshold. Next hand, I'm on the button with queen 9 of clubs. Hijack opens to 3 big blinds. Cutoff calls. I call. And now the small blind min raises to 6 big blinds. The hijack calls. The cutoff calls. I think about jamming for all the dead money, but I chicken out and just call. Flop comes king of spades, 3 of clubs, queen of clubs. It checks to me and I bet out half pot. Only the hijack calls and he's a good player. Turn is the ace of diamonds. Hijack checks again. I probably should have kept betting here, but I check back. River is the 6 of hearts. Hijack checks. So to me, he's shown weakness the whole time. So I decide to bluff full pot, 46 blinds. I don't love it on a paired board, and my line doesn't really make sense after checking back the turn. Villain thinks forever, almost his whole time bank, but he does let it go. So we get one through. I'm on the big blind with 6-8 of spades. It folds to the small blind. He opens the 3 big blinds. And I call. Flop is 4 spades, 3 of spades, 8 of clubs. Villain c-bets, but big, 70% pot. And I call. Turn is a 3 of clubs. And now villain checks. I have the spade draw plus top pair, so I bet 70% pot. But then villain check raises to 25 big blinds. Now I'm feeling terrible. I guess he could have some spade draws, but I'm blocking most of them. But I call hoping to improve. Unfortunately, the river comes a blank, 2 of diamonds. Villain jams all in for 68 blinds. I think I have a pretty decent bluff catcher. He was a pre-flop raiser, so he could have 10s through aces. Plus, I just had no notes on the guy, so I lay it down. Feels like the first pot we lost in a while. Now, a few hands later, I'm in the low jack with pocket aces and open the 2.5 big blinds. Just a hijack calls. Flop is 2 of spades, king of clubs, 3 of spades. I c-bet half pot and villain calls. Turn is a 6 of hearts. He doesn't have much left, but I'm trying to get it all. So I bet 70% pot. Hijack thinks, but calls. River is the queen of hearts. I just felt something up with this card, but he only has 11 blinds left, so I go all in, he calls, and of course he has king, queen of spades, and gets there on the river. So we lose another one, but luckily he wasn't deep. Now I'm on the button with queen, jack of diamonds. Hijack opens to 3 big blinds. Sometimes I would 3-bet this, but on the button I just call. But unfortunately now the small blind calls and the big blind calls. I flop the world. King, 7, 10, all diamonds. I flop the second nut flush and the royal flush draw. The small blind checks, and now the big blind bets out 30% pot. Hijack folds, and I bump it up to 9.36 blinds, and the villain calls. Turn is the queen of clubs. Villain checks. I'm trying to get all the money, so I bet 70% pot, and villain calls again. The river comes the 10 of clubs. I already don't love it, but now villain jams all in, and I'm in the tank. This just feels so strong to me. Calls a raise on the flop, check calls turn, and then jams river when I've been showing nothing but strength. I mean, what's his bluff? The ace of diamonds? I just feel he has a full house, and I let it go. After these few hands of losses, playing at these higher stakes, our bankroll's right back where we started, $165.30. We need to get back on track. I wake up in the small blind with pocket kings. Low jack limps and cutoff isolates the 5 big blinds. This is a great start. I 3-bet to 20 blinds, and the cutoff calls. Flop comes 8 of diamonds, 6 of spades, 6 of clubs. I decided to c-bet small, 30% pot, so that way his hands like ace-jack, ace-queen float, and villain does call. Turn is the king of clubs. The board's getting wet now, but I still make a mistake. I think I should have bet small again. I jam all in, but really, what's going to call here? He has to have specifically in a lower overpair. He folds, but at least we win a pot. Then I'm on the low jack with ace-9 of hearts and open the 2.5 big blinds. The cutoff calls. Flop comes 5 of diamonds, 7 of hearts, 7 of diamonds. I c-bet 30% pot, but then the villain min raises. Not sure what this means, but I call. Turn is a 10 of hearts. I check, and now villain bets half pot. I have a flush draw now, so I decide to min raise back at him. But I just don't like this on a pair board. I should have just called, but villain calls. River is the 5 of spades. I check, giving up and hoping to get the showdown. The villain bets half pot. I snap fold, and I'm annoyed how I played this. Then I'm in the cutoff with ace of clubs, king of spades. Low jack opens to 3 big blinds, and I 3-bet to 10 big blinds. Now the small blind cold calls the 3-bet, and the low jack folds. Flop comes 6 of diamonds, 2 of hearts, 4 of diamonds. Villain checks, and I c-bet half pot. Unfortunately, the villain calls. Turn is a 3 of diamonds. Villain checks. I decide to keep barreling like I have aces and kings. I bet 26 blinds, but then villain jams all in, and it's annoying. I have to fold, but I'm just thinking, what is he cold call small blind? That's usually what, 9s through jacks? How does he know I don't have aces or kings? Maybe he has a diamond. I don't know. But after these losses, we're back under what we started the video with. The bankroll sits at $146.91. This isn't good. We got to battle back. I get pocket jacks in the hijack. Low jack opens to 3 big blinds, and I 3-bet to 9 big blinds. It folds around and villain calls. Flop is 5 of spades, king of diamonds, king of hearts. Low jack checks, and I c-bet 30% pot, and villain calls. Turn is a 2 of diamonds. Villain checks. I think I should have the best hand here, but I guess he could have a king, so I check for some pot control. River is the 8 of hearts. Now villain leads out over half pot, 16.4 blinds. I basically snap call. After checking back the turn, I look weak, and I'm right, villain was doing that with complete air. Queen 10 of clubs. Hopefully we can build some momentum. Then we get this crazy big pot. I'm in the hijack with pocket 6s and open the 2.5 big blinds. The cutoff and small blind call. The flop comes a dream. 6 of clubs, 5 of spades, 6 of diamonds.
What?
That's right, I flop quads. And even better, the small blind leads out half pot. I don't need protection, and I want to keep the guy behind me in, so I just call, and the cutoff calls. Turn is the 3 of diamonds. Now the small blind leads out over pot, 21.4 blinds. It felt like he's super deep with the cutoff, so he's trying to get piles in, which is fine by me. I just call again, and the cutoff calls again. So this pot's huge. River is a 10 of hearts. Now the small blind jams. This is only slightly bad thing that happened in the hand. I only have 65 blinds left, so I obviously call. But the cutoff actually thinks about this for a while, but he does lay it down. I wish the small blind only bet 70 blinds, so both of us could have called maybe. Small blind shows 7-4 clubs. So he did all that with a straight on a pair board. This was a dream spot, a 210 big blind pot, and we have the new biggest pot of the series, $104.97. And just like that, after 2 hands, our bankroll is highest it's been in a while, $219.34. Now I'm on the low jack with king of clubs, queen of diamonds, and open the 2.5 big blinds. The cutoff button and small blind call. Flop comes jack of clubs, queen of spades. We hit trips. Small blind checks, and I bet out 30% pot. Now out of nowhere, cutoff jams, 45.2 big blinds. Button and small blind fold. I obviously call. If he has ace queen, oh well. But cutoff actually has a slow played pocket aces. We hold and win another big one. I'm on the big blind with king 6 of clubs. The hijack opens the 3 big blinds. The button calls and I defend. Flop comes jack of spades, 2 of hearts, king of diamonds. Everyone checks, and the turn comes the 9 of clubs. Since everyone checked the flop, I bet out 30%, but the hijack and button call. River is the king of hearts. I make trips, but I have a low kicker, and there is a straight out there, so I decided to block bet 4 big blinds. No reason, I just wasn't confident in the hand. But now the hijack raises to 22.5 blinds. almost 6x. Button folds, and I basically snap fold. There is some chance he saw weakness in my bet and raised as a bluff, but if he did, he can have it. I didn't have much invested. Now I'm in the big blind with king of diamonds, jack of spades. The button opens to 2.5 big blinds. The small blind calls. I noticed the villain on the button. I have it in my notes. He was opening every button if it folded to him. I saw hands like jack 4 off. He really values being in position. So I have a decent hand. So I 3-bet to 13 big blinds. The button calls, but the small blind folds. The flop comes jack of diamonds, 8 of diamonds, 4 of diamonds. Pretty great. I have top pair and the second nut flush draw. So I c-bet 50% pot and the button calls. Turn is 3 of diamonds. So I hit a flush. I decide to check, hoping he bets, but he checks back. River is the 9 of spades. I decide to bet half pot again, 26 blinds. Villain thinks, but calls and mucks. So we win another good one. I'm able to check and replay what he had, and this time he did have a good hand on the button. 7 of diamonds, 7 of hearts, so he had a smaller flush. But we are hot. Now our bankroll sits at $263.66. We're back at what it was before this downswing started. Gotta keep it up. But now we go back to NL30, 15 cent, 30 cent blinds, and this is where we're staying until we build it up where we're comfortable playing at NL50. I'm in the big blind with 10-9 of clubs. Hijack opens to 3.5 big blinds. Small blind calls, and I defend. Flop comes 6 of spades, 9 of hearts, 2 of spades. Small blind checks, I check, and the hijack c-bets half pot. Small blind calls, and I decided to be a little unorthodox, and I raised to 15.9 blinds. For some reason, I didn't think these guys had much, and I need some check raises with top pair. Hijack folds, but the small blind calls. Turn is the ace of diamonds. Villain checks. I don't think the ace hits his range, and he only has about 19 blinds left. So I put them all in, but he folds. But we win a nice one. Now I get pocket kings in a cutoff. Low jack opens to 2.17 blinds, and I 3-bet to 8.33 blinds. Now the big blind cold calls, and the low jack folds. Flop is queen of diamonds, 4 of diamonds, queen of hearts. So I'm thinking about my c-bet sizing, but now villain donks out all in for 38 big blinds. I actually think about this one for a while, because last time I was in a situation just like this, except it was like 2 sevens. The guy had a suited connector, 7-8 or something. So I was worried he had a queen. But the more I thought about it, I put myself in his shoes, and I'd never go all in with a queen like that. I'd be scared my opponent would fold. I check, hoping he c-bets, and then maybe go all in when he's priced in. So I call, and villain had pocket 6s. That threw me off. I was thinking maybe a flush draw. I hold, and we win another one. Then this hand happens. I'm on the small blind with 10 of hearts, 10 of clubs. Low jack lamps, and button raises to 5.5 big blinds. I decided just call, and low jack calls. Flop comes great. 10, 4, 9, all diamonds. So I hit top set. I check, low jack checks, but then button bets full pot. I jam, since the button only has about 19 blinds left. Maybe I should have just called, and maybe the low jack calls, I don't know. But the button calls. He has jack of diamonds, ace of spades. So we're a 70% favorite. Turn is the 5 of clubs, but unfortunately the river is the queen of diamonds. A little annoying, but I can't be mad. I feel like I've been running really well. And he was short stacked. Now I have 3 of diamonds, 2 of spades on the big blind. We're only 3-handed. Button limps, small blind calls, and I check. Flop comes ace of hearts, jack of spades, 4 of diamonds. The small blind leads out for 1 big blind. For some reason, I just felt it coming here, and I called, and button folds. Turn is a 5 of clubs, so now we have the nuts. Even better, villain bets full pot. I raise to 15.5 big blinds, and villain calls. River is a 9 of spades, so I still have the nuts. Villain checks. I don't want to go too big and scare him away, so I go 70% pot. Villain calls, and we win an almost 80 big blind pot with 2-3 off. And after that hand, we hit our peak of this entire series. Our bankroll sits at $285.15. It's crazy how things turn around, but the hot streak doesn't last. I get ace of clubs, king of hearts on the small blind. Low jack limps, and I bump it up to 5 BBs. Now the big blind raises to 14 big blinds. I've been slowly losing chips for about an hour and a half, so I jam 57 blinds. Big blind actually thinks for a while, but he calls with pocket jack. And I swear I never win these flips. So we lose a decent sized pot. Now we get a shot at revenge against this player. I'm on the cutoff with pocket 6s. Low jack opens to 2 big blinds. Hijack calls. I call. And now the button raises, but only to 7 blinds. I know he's supposed to go smaller on the button, but not this small with all that dead money. Big blind cold calls, and low jack and hijack fold. I decided to make a move. Don't think anyone is that strong because of the sizing. And I 4-bet to 33 big blinds. But button is a good player, and he knows I didn't 3-bet to start. So he calls my 4-bet and the big blind folds. The flop comes king of spades, 10 of hearts, 3 of diamonds. I decide to represent the king, and this pot's so big already, I bet 30% pot. But it must have something because he's thinking for a while, but he does fold and we get it through. I'm assuming we don't have the best hand. Maybe we do. Finally, the last hand of the video, and it's a crazy one. Especially because I'm super deep with the villain and I'm not used to playing so deep. I'm in the hijack with king 10 of hearts. Low jack limps and I isolate the 4 big blinds. Cutoff calls and the low jack call. I think the flop is great. Queen of hearts, 9 of diamonds, 8 of hearts. So I flop a combo draw. But now low jack donks out for half pot. I have a combo draw, so I raise to 16.8 blinds. But then the cutoff 3 bets to 43.2 blinds. LoJack thinks for a while and folds, and it's on me. This was the first time in a while I had no idea what I was supposed to do. If I was only 100 big blinds deep, it would be an easy rip. But his line is really strong. In my head, I'm thinking he must have like Jack 10, a straight, or maybe even an ace high flush draw. Then I'm really dead. So I do the last thing I ever thought I would do in this spot and just call. Turn comes a 4 of spades, so we miss. I check, and then he bets 50 big blinds, and I lay it down. I didn't want to lose all the money I just worked for, but let's check out the results for this whole video. Okay, tallying it up on my calculator. We started this video at $164.13, and after a month of playing, we finished at $262.53. That's a profit of $98.40, our biggest profit of the series so far. It was a battle, but fun, and it got scary at one point, but now we're in a good spot to be comfortable at NL30. Let me know how you liked this video, and if you want me to keep going. I'm trying to find the motivation. Please drop a comment, like the video, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, this is Mr. Humble Poker. Stay humble, stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next one.